Hey everybody, welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt, currently loaded up in my pickup truck here, and we are going to be heading up to one of my favorite places, and it is one of my favorite times of the year. It's auction time. You guys have followed me through many a Ritchie Brothers auction before, and just like before, we're going to go up there and see what kind of deals we can find, or see if they got anything up there that we can't live without. So you guys tag along with me and we'll see what they got for us. You gonna go check out the mini excavators here first. There's a couple I'm potentially interested in. Never know, it's all about the price. First up here we got a Cat 305 with racing slicks. These must be Hooster tracks they put on this thing. Good Lord, I've never seen tracks wore down that smooth. It looks pretty whooped. 6,700 hours on the clock. I don't know, we'll see if it's gonna start. This is a nice sized machine I wouldn't mind having, but this one looks tired. Well, I fired up. Doesn't sound the best, but it's fired up. I'm betting the stick is pretty clapped out on this thing.
That looks like mine.
Oh yeah. That bucket pivot pin is gone. Yep. No, that needs line board. I'm out. That does it for me. Can you guys see the gap in there around the pin? I think it's a little past greasing. I think we're gonna cross this one off the list. But the 303 here, she looks pretty nice. Well, we got nice clean startup. That's a good sign. I think this is a 2017 model, so it's probably gonna command a pretty high price. I didn't see a lot of slop in the knuckle. No, that's a pretty tight machine there. Not too bad at all. It could use a new pin and bushing, but it's nowhere near as far gone as the one next to it. This E85 Bobcat here used to belong to Walsh Construction. I can still see the logo on the side there. I'm pretty sure I actually ran this machine on the last highway job I worked on. I hated it then. I sure don't want it now. Bobcat got bought by Doosan years ago, and I really, really hate Doosan. Personal preference. I could get behind this Deere 85D. It's a nice machine there. I think I need a shirt that says that. The interior doesn't look too bad. Give her a couple seconds of heat. And contact. Maybe. Started up pretty nice. There we go. This would be a good size machine to replace my Komatsu. All right, actually a nice tight machine. think with a bucket, pin, and bushing, this thing would be pretty much ready to run. Seems good. Engine runs nice. Undercarriage looks nice. We're gonna keep a pretty good eye on this thing. This would be a really nice machine to replace my Komatsu. I'm thinking this thing will go for around 30 or 35. I've never spent much time around these ASVs, but a lot of people tell me they're actually a really nice machine. They have a different style of undercarriage than most track machines. I believe this is what they call a bogey wheel system, but I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about these things. If you guys know anything about them, drop a comment down below. Sitting in the ASV, it's interesting. These joysticks are cat joysticks. It even says cat right on them there. And the ignition switch is also a cat key. So somehow this company either buys and licenses components from Caterpillar, or they're owned by Caterpillar maybe. I don't know. Is she gonna start? Oh yeah. Fired right up. Well, there's been some homemade reinforcement done to this bucket, but I guess that means somebody loved it. That's enough ASV for me. I don't think I'm a fan. The mouse pee is real in there.
Is it really?
Oh my goodness. I haven't seen this in the online catalog yet. But these mini telehandlers like this are super handy. I ran one of these on a job site one time and it's just the ticket. I bet you it's gonna go for quite a bit more than I need to spend on one. Oh, it's got a deluxe plywood door, Bob.
Carpenter's job.
Yeah, the carpenters must have been running this one. It's actually pretty nice. Oh. Is she gonna start? Oh, fired right up. 3,800 hours. And on a machine like this, I bet you a lot of that is idle time. Takes skid steer attachments, so you don't have to go buy all new attachments. You can use a bucket on this thing, anything. These are really handy machines. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but it's probably gonna go for more than I'd like to spend. Whole bunch of Penske trucks here today. Ain't no telling what they'll go for. I think these might be, oh, that's a Cummins. These are good trucks. Some of these had the International Max Force engines in them, which were pretty much terrible. But there's a whole pile of them here today.
That and these trucks are very well taken care of. These Penske trucks.
Look at that beautiful International, boys. We gotta check that thing out. Dear Darla, that thing's sweet. 6-wheel drive, Paystar 5000. Oh. Got some diggers on the back. This thing is sweet. Now that, boys and girls, that is a transfer case right there. I guess we gotta see if this pig is gonna fire up. Oh, it's got lights. Need some battery. Nice Peterbilt service rig. All kind of goodies out here today. More of these Penske trucks. That's a lot of trucks. Got a whole row of trailers here. There's a 40-ton detached lowboy right here I'm gonna look pretty hard at. I think that would look nice behind the auto car. Yeah, it's more of a purple these days, but we'd probably repaint it red. I did notice there was some rot on this thing because I was actually out here the other day for a brief moment. And I think I saw some rot somewhere back here on the frame. Actually, I'm not seeing it now. Pretty good looking trailer. The deck's not all tore up. The edges of the beams aren't all torn up. There we go. There's the rot. But this isn't really anything important here. This is thin, lightweight metal. Mainly just a tie down point that can easily be patched. Here we go. There's the substantial rot. You have to cut this whole panel out of here, at least halfway up, and replate that. But really not too bad, all things considered. I think that's a pretty easy patch job. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this trailer. This would be really good for me. I could haul around that Kobelco excavator very well on this trailer. All right, we got an IHI Maruka, as they are affectionately known in the industry, but it's just a track truck. It's a pretty good sized unit here. And I think on the website it says it runs, and everything looks like this thing is in operational condition, except for one thing. There's a planetary gear set sitting here in the cab, and this machine is sitting in the inoperable aisle. And I would venture to say that's why. Over on the passenger side here, if you will, the cover is missing some bolts, and I'm guaranteeing they pulled that gear set out of this final drive, and this track is also slacked off quite a bit too. Something probably screwed up in this final drive, and they just pulled that gear set out so that they could move the machine around and get it loaded out easy. So this could be a sleeper here in the in-op aisle. This could be something you buy and fix and flip for a good bit of money. These things sell for quite a bit, all fixed up and working. I gotta get back further so you guys can even see what this thing is. And even if I get back further, I don't know that you're gonna know what it is. This is a disassembled container handler machine. This will pick up 40-foot containers and stack them and everything. That big boom over there is all part of this thing, the wheels and everything. And it's all disassembled to move it. And it's missing the cab. I guess the company that owns it just forgot to bring the cab down with it, so it's getting sold as is, as parts. It's got an 855 Cummins in it. Look at the massive counterweight on this thing. This is the back end. This gets bolted to the mainframe there. Look at that big thing. There's a ton of weight here. This is the, one of these is the picker for it. Maybe both of them even go with it. I don't know. This is all the pieces parts over here. You got stairs for it, containers and nuts and bolts, fire suppression system, all kinds of stuff. This big boom that goes with it. Man, this thing's huge. It's gonna go up, of course, but right now I own it on the auction for like 10 bucks or something. So yeah, basically, of course, I wouldn't try to reassemble this thing. I would pull the engine and every other component off of it that I want to save and scrap this baby. Look at that hydraulic cylinder. I mean, that thing, whew, that's a heck of a log splitter right there. But it's got an 855 Cummins in it, so that's a good engine. The guy said it should run because this machine was supposed to be reassembled and sold as a running unit, but the company just never fulfilled their obligations. So it's getting sold as is, where is, but the engine should run. Out here checking out all the Conex boxes now. Some of these things are loaded down really nice and still have products in them. These all came from the shell cracker plant that they just built in Beaver, PA. Look at that. Insulated shelves, bang up job done by professional carpenters, ready to go. And you're not gonna buy a shed for as cheap as this thing will sell for. It's already got wired up with lights in it and everything. AC unit in here. It's the ticket. Got all the haul trucks here. I think I need to stay away from these things. They're money pits, they're always beat to hell. I don't need any of that. Sounds like a headache. We got two smaller Semi container handlers here that aren't fully assembled, but it can kind of give you a better idea what they look like. But these are smaller than that one that's over there in pieces that I'm talking about. There's still some pretty big units. Got some wheel loaders over here and some dozers. I don't think I need to buy any of those. Always cool to look at. Man, the electrical panels. I mean,
This is the 4th auction with them.
oh, this is like the 6th or 7th auction with all this stuff. The amount of money that they spent on temporary electrical riggings down there at that shell plant is mind-boggling. That's a nice cat backhoe there, though. Man, that'd be nice to have. I'm not a backhoe guy, but that's a good-looking unit right there. Now, there's a unique roller. I've only ever seen one of these things, but man, that's a cool unit there. I bet you it does pretty well on slope work. Got a track system on it, pad foot with a smooth drum shell kit to go over it, a knockdown blade. I've run a Saki roller, at least I think that's how you say this, Saki. I've run one of their rollers and they're pretty good, but I didn't run one with tracks on it. That is cool. Gonna go for way more than I need to spend on a roller. Plus I already got one that needs fixing. Look at what we got here, boys. This is the older model Ventrac than what I have. And the cool thing about this one, she's got a turbo. That is a cool looking unit right there. It's got a finish mower on it, some brand new tires on the inside. I like it. That thing's beautiful. It's out of my price range though. I looked at it on the auction this morning and it's already selling for like 8,500 bucks. So I don't really need another one. But man, that thing's cool.
That's what it was last night too.
These guys right here are some awesome industrial floor sweepers. We got that fancy new shop floor. We got to find a way to keep it clean, and these things are going to do the ticket here. I don't know what they're going to go for, but I'm going to own one of them. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm also thinking about this guy too. This is an actual floor scrubber. These just do sweeper, you know, and they have a good dust control system and everything, but this one actually gets water and scrubs the floor. But I'm hesitant about it now because obviously you can see it's frozen out here, and if this thing had water in it, it could be ruined. We'll see what it goes for. I'll tell you what, that's the big daddy of turbo heaters right there. 500,000 BTU. That is a torpedo heater. Bet you that sucks down all the fuel. Let the fun begin. All right, this is that mini telehandler that we looked at. I have no idea what this thing's going to go for. I really don't see these things come up too much, but I'd like to have it. No. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to go for like 20, 22, something like that. Maybe not. Wow, he didn't wait around for that thing. I don't think that was a bad price, but I really don't need it for that price either.
Sold 37.5, and the buyer number is 67145. Bought it. Our next lot number.
Not too bad. I thought that was going to go for like mid-30s, so I was only a little off. At the end of the year, a lot of companies are trying to blow out some extra cash. They're not afraid to spend a little more because they're just going to turn around and sell that thing next year. Well, I'm losing focus here. I lost track. I was bidding on this thing. I had it for 170 and somebody got it from me. But I'm back on track here now. Got to pay attention or I'm going to lose all this stuff. Well, this might be the first thing I end up buying here. Got some 4x4 plates, steel. The price of steel's through the roof, so I'd like to make some workbenches, and these things would suffice for that pretty well. I feel like I'm overpaying, but with the price of steel, it's probably not that bad. All the rest of the steel there, as you can see, is going for stupid money.
Sold 20,500. Buyer number 603.
Yep. There we go. 300 bucks in the hole. Now, granted, a lot bigger plates of steel and a lot more of it, but I mean, look at the prices. We're talking about 9,000, 10,000, 11,000. You know, and this is all jumping up as we speak, right as they come to a close here. So, I don't know. Well, that's some big heavy plate there for 3,200 bucks. That's really not that bad. Those are road plates for covering over holes in the road and letting traffic pass over them. Man, that's some serious steel plate there. Somebody's getting a good deal on those. So there's a few more things left in the live auction that I'm going to keep an eye on, but right now I'm playing around with these containers here. This red one here has got a pile of electrical components and mysterious hardware stuff that's plywooded off in there, so you can't even really get in there and see what it is, but definitely worth 2,000 bucks, because the container itself is worth, you know, about 3,000 right now, the way the market is on containers. And these blue ones down here, all three of these butt up against each other. That's what that pass-through door is. And they have beautiful shelving all down through them, nice metal racking, and Vladimir roller cabinets and everything inside of them. And those are definitely worth some money. So we'll see what I can do on them. I might have to jump up my max here a little bit. Somebody outbid me on these containers. I gotta play hardball here. Oh, I hope that gets them. I really don't want to spend more than that on those things, but man, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And they're pushing back, driving up the price, but that's all they're doing right now. Oh, we got one. Sold 22.5, and the buyer number is 55529. All right, now we're down to 743. 743 right here in this. Come on, baby. Pretty popular, I think. Here we go. 50. And a 50,000. I'm going to 50. Get them in the money now. 50,000. I'm going to 50. I'm going to 30. We got two of them. Come on, baby. Last one. Bingo. Got all three of those things. We just bought a warehouse. I really thought I was going to get one of these floor sweepers, but man, 2,100 a piece, 1,600. I'm out. Boy, I am really kicking myself on these stinking heaters. These big 500,000 BTU turbo heaters were selling over the summertime. I was just checking the old prices. Over the summertime, they were selling for like $500, $600, $700, $800 a piece. I didn't see any of them for more than 1,000. And here we are in wintertime, and this one's going to go for over 1,600 probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets another bid snuck in on it any second, but I'm not spending that. But man, that's a nice heater. These are better heaters though, because you get clean heat out the front, and the exhaust gases go up the top, whereas this one just spits it all out the front. So that's why you're getting more BTUs out of this thing. So, looks like I might get it though. This one, the reason this one is bid up higher than this one is because this one was in better shape. I looked at them in person. Yeah, to heck with it. I can sell it on Marketplace for more than that. This way I know one of them's going to work, or I can fix one with the other one or whatever. Still working on these two guys here. I got an hour left. I really want this grinder bad, and this saw would be nice to get too, but it's getting into the point where I don't want to spend a ton of money on it. Really, I mean, it's worth that money. It's not a saw that I think I'll use a whole ton, but I might as I graduate into this bigger shop and doing more fabrication type work. Yeah, see, somebody outbid us on it. I'll take it to 100 bucks at least. Well, I didn't get the camera going in time, but we just won the bench grinder that I was after, so that's good. I've been needing a good one of those for a long time. Let's try to get this power saw here. Well, I'm going to put 500 on it and not a penny more, because I don't feel like I'm going to use it enough to justify it. Bang, we bought it. Well, they just sold this this Maruka dirt cheap, $4,000. However, I called and got a price on the part that it needs to fix it, the one final drive, and it was like it wasn't even a for sure price, but the guy was like ballparking me around $20,000 for the final drive. So somebody may have gotten a heck of a deal there. It may be something that's repairable and not $20,000, but I just don't have the time for the headaches right now. Too much going on this year. The last thing that I am looking for here at the auction is this nice 40-ton lowboy. I'm going to see if I can't pick this thing up, but it doesn't go off until tomorrow afternoon, so we got some time on that. Well, this 40-ton lowboy that I want has really jumped up, but that's still not a bad price, so I'm going to put in my best here. I don't know if we're going to get it, but I'm going to try. We shall see. Yep, 13.5 that this trailer is going to end up going for. That's still really not a bad price, but just more than I need to spend on one. Dang it. $13.5. Well, it's a week after the auction because Christmas was in there. We're out here picking up our treasures. Buddy Bob won this bucket. Looks like I might have to help him here. Last thing we got to load right now, the Powermatic bandsaw. Ended up picking this thing up for 450 bucks. I think that's a pretty darn good deal. That's an awesome saw right there. Already got the Cincinnati bench grinder. Palo lights. We're doing good. Well, we made it home with the first load here. Got to get this stuff unloaded. I actually had some steel plates that I won there too. Kind of forgot about those, but luckily the loader guy remembered. And got those loaded up. We got to get this stuff unloaded, and then it's time for the sea cans. I'm gonna have to fire up the old auto car for that. She's been sleeping quite a while, and it's awful cold out here. Yeah. Pulling in here to get the Conex boxes. We're getting those blue ones right there. Somebody's been in them. All right, so my buddy over at Scrappy Industries was nice enough to lend me his trailer to haul these Conex boxes home. I have that Highboy flat trailer that I bought at the last sale, but it's actually too tall for these boxes because the boxes I bought here, not this one, I bought these 3 nicely painted blue ones back here, and they are high cube containers, which means they're 9'6" tall, and the Highboy trailer is 4.5 foot tall, so that's putting us over legal limit. down there. Yeehaw! There you go. Not too bad. All right, we got the first box loaded down. We're hitting the road. Good. Oh yeah. Buddy's getting this thing rigged up for me. I'm hoping we can pick it. It's gonna be pretty high to be picking. I mean, there's no problem. This thing probably weighs about 10,000 pounds, which is no problem as far as weight goes. But it's the height that's gonna be the killer here. Theoretically, Fat Alice might lift this, but it'd be really pushing it. Sitting down on that pipe, kind of balance it and drive out from underneath. All right. Rocket Barb. Try second. That escalated quickly, but we got it. Pipe gonna catch the tree? Barely missed it. All right, well that worked. And we didn't hurt Buddy's trailer. That was priority number one. safely on the ground. There's container number 2. We're eastbound and down. All right, I got old Fat Alice started up there. We're gonna unload this one a little bit differently. I'm gonna pick up the side closest to the truck with the excavator and pick up the rear of it with Fat Alice. We'll just drive the truck out from underneath. I would do this differently if it was my trailer, but I don't want to tear up Buddy's trailer. All right, we're just about to lift off the second container here. Gotta lift off both machines, that way we don't accidentally hurt the trailer. Hopefully this time it'll be easier than the last time. Okay, we have successfully hauled everything back from the auction, so I guess it's time to check out our treasures here. First up here, we got the 600,000 BTU turbo heater. This is a big turbo heater. And they didn't really say in the auction if this thing worked or not, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in now for the first time. I got the extension cord there, hooked up to the light plant. There's a nice sticker down here that says maintenance complete, so that's good. Hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully the thing works. It's got a little bit of fuel in it. Let's try it out here. Oh, the fan kicked on. I don't know if this one's like my other one. They just come on. The flame automatically ignites. Oh yeah, we got flame. I see it down there. That's right. And the Lord said, let there be heat. Oh, it's delightful, guys. You should feel this. Oh. Well, I was really hoping to have my wood boiler hooked up and heating the shop already this time of year. But things happened and that didn't pan out. But this thing should keep us warm at least this winter. And hopefully by next year we better have the shop insulated and heated properly. Oh, I could stand in front of this thing all day. I'd call that a pretty good buy for 140 bucks. Next thing we got to look at here, I got this Cincinnati bench grinder. Yeah, that thing's sweet. Yeah, right now it's got a big wire wheel on one side and a flapper wheel on the other side. These are like small pieces of sandpaper all woven together here. And those things are really nice for shaping metal. I have no way to plug this in right now. It's got one of these oven plugs on it. I don't have one of those out here, but I can change that. So I have all the confidence in the world that this thing's gonna fire up. There's not much to go wrong with one of these things. So yeah, I'm just gonna assume that thing works. The Powermatic bandsaw. Man, this is a sweet unit. This thing is gonna be pretty darn handy, I think. It's not something I plan on using a ton, but for 450 bucks, I couldn't really say no. I've seen these things sell for like $2,000. So this thing even has a blade welder in it. So if you snap your blade, you put the ends of the blade in there, latch them together, and then you hit the weld thing, and it actually fuses the blade back together, and then you grind it back flat with the stone here, and yeah, you're good to go. You reinstall it, you're back in action. So we got this whole pallet of Eaton lights there. I was able to pick these things up for 90 bucks a piece, and already have, I think, all of them sold to a friend of mine that's an electrician. So they're just a 2x4 recessed light, you know, like you'd put in a drop-down ceiling. But there's 28 of them here. I gave 90 bucks for the whole pallet of them. And I think online they individually retail for like over 100. So I'd say that was a pretty good score. I don't know if I even included buying these things in the auction portion of this video, but I ended up picking up what the auction listed as 3 4x4 steel plates. There was actually 4 in the stack, so I got an extra one basically, and I think they're 1 inch rather than 3/4, or at least that one is. I think the second one up is thicker than the other ones. So yeah, got some nice 4x4 plates out of that. The old auto car, she performed admirably for being thrust into service after not having run for several months, but hauled those containers just fine. I was actually concerned because there's actually a good bit of snow up on the road that had drifted over, and I really didn't think we were going to make it up the road pulling the containers, but just kept her to the rug and I was able to drive right through it. Last but certainly not least, we have the containers here, all staged up along the driveway. Now this is of course just temporary. I have to do a lot. I got a lot to think about yet before I decide exactly where I want to put these things, or even if I'm going to keep them all. That's an awful lot of storage space when you look and see how much room is really available in here. I'll give you guys a little tour here. Look at this. These are Stanley Vidmar cabinets. These are pretty expensive if you want to go buy these things. These are pretty darn expensive if you want to go buy them. They're really nice roller drawers. They've got all these organizers and dividers in here. And I could go online and get even more dividers if I need them. They lock up nicely. There are 4 of these big ones in this box. We also have some of these pretty nice shelves up top here. This is something I'd probably just keep because it's good for hanging stuff on, whatever that stuff may be, I don't know. But this is really the whole reason I was interested in these things to begin with, is all this shelving down through here. I wanted to rig up my containers that make up the container shop with shelving just like this. And I started to in the one box, but I quickly ran out. And this narrow shelving like this good strong racking is hard to find in a narrow width. You know, you can find 3-foot, 4-foot width racking all day long, but this narrow stuff is hard to come by. And yeah, I was gonna have, if I found it or if I bought it new, I would have to spend thousands of dollars just to get this amount of racking. So probably for what I'd have to spend in racking, I was able to buy this entire container. Not only is this container insulated on all the walls and also has all the conduits and electrical outlets running everything through it, it has a heating. It has an HVAC unit back here at the back, a full breaker panel, inside of this box we got a little bit more room to roam. Again, completely wired, insulated, lined. Apparently this one had a TV hanging on the wall at one point there. We got another Vidmar rolling cabinet. Got another smaller Vidmar roller cabinet here. This shelf right here, I can't remember if I showed it earlier in the video, but it was just laying face down in the middle of the floor here, and it looked like the Fragile crate from A Christmas Story, and I was pretty excited. I thought it was just something that was crated up in here, and it was a mystery box, but turns out I flipped it upright, and it's just a boring old shelf, but hey, it's a shelf, I'll take it. The rest of the container, again, more of this nice narrow racking. This stuff is awesome for holding all kind of stuff, so there's a ton of racking between all 3 of these containers. And again, at the back we have another HVAC unit, and down at the end there we have another HVAC unit and another breaker box. All of these lights up here on the ceiling, these are all really nice LED lights, I do believe, so those things are probably worth quite a few dollars on their own. Well guys, I don't know what the heck happened there. I had some more footage finishing up the tour of these Conex boxes, but the audio is kaput. So I'm not sure what happened there, but unfortunately it is deleted. Anyways guys, that's about the end of the video anyhow. If you like the video, if you like following along with the auction, give me a big old thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel. It doesn't cost you guys a thing. Of course, if you're not subscribed already, be sure you're hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos putting some of these goodies to work. We're going to be getting the bandsaw and the grinder set up in the new shop here eventually, and those Conex boxes, we're going to be figuring out a good place for those things in the long run, so look forward to that. Anyways, guys, I think that's the last video for me for the year, so I really want to thank everybody for watching over the course of the year. It's been a great year. We've had a lot of growth on the channel, and I'm looking forward to outdoing ourselves in 2023. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the new year. Later.